Hello, everyone. I am very happy to be with you today. I am Magdala Ramirez, and I come from the Maya Mexica tradition. I am here with my beautiful sister, Christine. We are preparing for ceremony this week, and today we're going to be talking about the temple 12 plus 1. We are in the sacred land. You know, when you are in here, everything feels just so incredible clear. There is these very beautiful temples that we have created in here, in the land, in the sacred land. And one of them is the temple 12 plus 1. That come out inside of a sweat lodge that the mother wanted me to create this beautiful temple. And understanding this temple is imperative at this time because that is the connection of the true human being that you are. It's showing you your light and it's showing you your work too. The work that people has been doing for a very long time. As you know, you are inside of an hologram. In everything that it is around you, it is part of that message that it is for you. There is this big lies that you tell to yourselves, and then there is this big, beautiful truth that you have within yourself and that you're able to recognize it. The point in there is, how do you bring that truth? How do you are able to bring that truth and enlighten your personality when the personality wants to hold on as much as they can in the system that it is broken, in a system that wants to enslave you constantly, and you're making choices. So a reminding of this beautiful temple is just way too important. How do you feel that temple, my sister?
Well, for me, I was not here at the very beginning of the building of the temple, but I've been privileged to be here on many ceremonies in there. And each time, it's very different for me. The lessons are very different. The mirrors tell me many, many different things and give me such in-depth wisdom about myself, my story, my journey, soul journeys here, and it's magical in every possible way. So I honor the work, I honor that temple and the reason that it's there for us, and it's a privilege to even be there.
Yeah, it is so amazing, powerful. So there is a mirror in each wall, and each mirror will teach you something about yourself. The temple is perfect. And when I talk about perfection, it has to do with sacred mathematics and how it is so encoded in the whole creation. So the first mirror, it has to do about why you're so afraid what other people think about you. What it is that you're bringing into the people. What are you sharing into the people? Why are you bringing those gifts or not into the people? What do you feel about that one?
That's a powerful one, and it's one that's everyone's struggled with for so long, and I think it's a continuing struggle unless you are so aware of absolutely everything you're thinking and how you accept what that thought is and act on it, or you don't. We talked earlier a little bit about autopilot, which means that you do things without even realizing you have a choice. And those choices are there always, but so many of us don't even recognize that.
Absolutely. You do have a choice. Always, you have a choice and you're choosing, and you need to be aware about what you're choosing. Well, the second mirror is also very important. All the mirrors are very important, but this one is very specific. I mean, you born in a culture, in a tradition. You're born with certain color of the skin. You born in a place where it was the perfect match for the work that you needed to do. You come from love. You always come from love, and the lessons that you need to have is about love. This mirror will show you too that whatever you're born with, there is a genetic memory. There is already a story that you have about your tribe, that you have about your family. And sometimes this mirror can entrap you in there because you have all these traditions, and some of these traditions or some of these situations maybe in your family are not precisely for the highest good of everyone. And you can see this, and how do you overcome this part? I mean, that's what we call evolution. You want your children to be better than you. You understand that that part of the evolution, it needs to get rid of the old. Yet there is this part of it that it can be very karmatic too. And what is it in your family? What do you feel about that mirror?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I think in a lot of us, we've been raised to honor that tradition to the point where we won't let go of it because we think that's dishonoring, instead of looking at it to see the value of where your lineage came from, and if it's something to honor, and not just to honor it because that is part of your DNA this time, or where you've been placed, not seeing the big picture and realizing that this is your moment to change that and to make it better. And like you say, for the children of the children, and on and on.
Absolutely. And I think this mirror is particularly very strong right now with this racism thing. I mean, it's like the thick layer of separation of every single race in the world, and the time that it is now to overcome it and pass through all that thick layer of separation and find the time that it wasn't that way, because that's not the original human being. So people are dealing right now with all this baggage and things about races. I mean, yeah, I'm brown, you're white, and you're dealing with the white guilt.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say, the guilt.
Yeah, you're dealing with how do I overcome all that stuff, and what is it? Can we see and getting to a point where the mother really wants all her children together? The elements are inside of you, each one of the elements. And when you bring balance into all these elements, that's when you find the fifth element, and that is the understanding of what it means to be human. That part is just way too important. Well, the next mirror, it has to do with where is in your heart. And we have in here two hearts. One heart contains every single part of your experiences, good ones and bad ones, in this time and space in your life. But then you have the other heart. In this other heart, you have access to the library of the multiverse. This heart understands that you are love. It is the essence. It is being able to see yourself beyond the pain. What do you feel about this mirror?
Yeah, it's like seeing through a different lens. The heart that connects you with the multiverse, with what all is out there and what all you are. That it's not about this particular soul journey you're on, and the experience that you've had should not identify you. should not be a part of that emotional body. It should be only to learn from. And then you move forward, and then you learn from that, and then you learn from this. But it's not about anything that you need to carry with you as a burden.
Absolutely. Like what you're going to do with it, can you transmute yourself? It is the time for that transmutation and see the other heart.
Yeah.
It is only the mother, the one that heals you. And that it is about the love. It is really love what it heals you. And that's very important to understand. In the system, they wanted you to believe that the time will heal you. Time makes just cover up, but won't heal unless you revisit with this love that you are. Okay, the next mirror, it's about the mind, what you have been doing with your mind. Oh my gosh, that is a very important mirror because you have a beautiful, beautiful brain. Can you relearn how to use it? What do you feel about that one?
Oh, we've had a lot of discussion about that recently. To expand beyond what we're normally thinking and doing, breaking the pattern of that, and seeing all the possibilities and being excited about that, and not about following in that same old pattern of, if I do this, and then I have to do that, and I have to think like this. So this mirror is so important now more than ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we were talking yesterday in the school about how you are so much in the patterns and you want to repeat the story over and over and over again. Why? I don't know, maybe it makes you feel comfortable, even if it is really not comfortable, doing the same patterns over and over again. So when there is an experience out of the box, you want to put it in the box just to make it safe for you, instead of expanding your network. Oh my gosh, this is funny. But it is very important for you to realize that one. Then the next mirror is for you to realize your own creations. Your creations and you are one and the same. Son of a tiger, little tiger. It is that place that you take responsibility for your creation. You cannot just say, well, I'm not responsible. Oh, yes, you are. What do you feel about that mirror, my sister?
Well, that's a good one, because I think too many times we feel like, I'm just living a life. I just go about this and that, and I don't really have to be looking at what I've created that's behind me or what I'm going to create in the future. But if you don't take responsibility and you don't see that you are creating what you're creating, then you're not, it continues to repeat the same old mistakes or the same old ways of just not caring, not showing that heart, not being expansive in your experience, and you don't really learn much of anything.
One of the things about this mirror, it's also very important to realize, you have a set of possibilities. And when you raise your vibration, the possibilities change, because it is your next truth available for you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be responsible for your lower vibration creations. It means that you are able to see them in a different way and bring a very different creations, You're always co-creating with everyone around you too. What it is the thing that you want to co-create? And what is the choices that you have for that co-creation? That's very important too. And how do you want to raise your vibration so your choices are different? And being aware of your creations, being aware of the choices means with what you're identifying with. You want to be true instead of perpetuating the lie. Well, our next mirror, it has to do with that physicality. People were trained in big deal to separate the spirit from that third dimensional reality that you call, because you were trained for thinking in that way. This is real and spirit is not real. I am telling you, there is not one realm with the absence of God. Everything is part of the spirit. And when you disconnect one thing to another one, what you are doing is disconnecting yourself. Every single part of you, it is part of that spirit. Everything is reflecting back. Where are you? What is those messages? What do you feel about this one, my sister?
Yeah, I was thinking about, this whole philosophy or whatever programming of separate, that spirit's separate and should be dealt with separate from the physical. And when you do that, your whole life is in those separatenesses. So when you do your work, you think that's that spirit work. When you go and do your other dimensional work, that's separate from that. When they're not merged in your own mind and body, you can't bring forward the beauty of that spirit into absolutely everything you do. You don't see the higher perspective of things. You don't, like we were talking, like co-creating with someone. If you co-create by aligning with the lower vibration, then you're perpetrating that creation in that level. But when you are aware of spirit and all the expansiveness of that, then you're raising, and then those around you as well can see it differently, can experience it differently from you, and then they co-create with you, and then it magnifies, I feel.
Yeah, you need to become one with yourself. Okay, well, the next mirror, it's very, very super important because it's a big, big door. That is about the union of polarities, your male and female. How that one is working for you.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, we have been talking about it. And oh my gosh, what happened with the feminine? They lost their way. Yes, because the system wanted to be sure that the women were not together, that the sisterhood in the feminine was not working. So they divide and conquer. When they make this divide and conquer, it has been a big deal for the women to understand sisterhood. So women have a lot of work. So is the men too. And I will talk about it in a minute. We have been working in this union of polarities for a very long, long time. What is that beautiful part of you that it is in the hidden? That's the work. That is the world where you make your creations inside of you, and it is linked with all the mirrors. And then you have your male side, which is the manifestation of yourself. What you're going to bring forward. And the masculine, of course, as you can see, it is all this creation. You see all these distortions everywhere. Well, in this planet, everything comes from the feminine. So we do need to align with the one that created us, with the great mother, and really listening. So we put it on what we know and bring it forward. Bring that new way of living about love, about oneness, really into creation instead of just having an idea about it. We do need to go deeply because it's not a repetition thing in your mind. It is something that is being revealed through your heart. So that has been a big situation because the system wanted to really create enslavement. So if you don't have this male and female in balance, it is very much participating in the system and accepting that enslavement instead of reclaiming your sovereignty. Your freedom is inside of you. It has always been inside of you. What do you think about that, mirror?
Wow. Well, that has been very, very dominant in the last, while we've been here, for sure. And it's been a very difficult, I think, concept or idea of how we are in balance. And I think within some of the sisterhoods that are around the world, I can feel the difference when a woman is genuine and coming from the heart with me, or if she knows that sisterhood's a great idea, but they don't really feel it. They don't really go from the heart. They go from the intellectual of, this is a great concept. I should do this too. It's a great idea, but I'm really not practicing it because I'm not connecting with the heart of me.
Yeah, being real.
Being real.
And the masculine and feminine, that has been a big, big deal. The man is longing for that divine feminine. And the women is longing for that divine masculine. Mm-hmm. Yet it is within your own self. That male is the one that it is able to stand up in your truth. And you do it as a woman. And that divine feminine is able to understand yourself as love. And understand the respect. We are moving. Humanity is moving to a higher culture that has to do with respect with everyone. What is it? Instead of wanting to impose your tradition and everybody else, that has been a big deal. Mm-hmm. It is very related with what is going on right now. Well, our next mirror, it has to do with that intimacy. What happened with all these little secrets that you have? And a lot has to do about how do you lie to yourself. What is the things that you think that you cannot even speak about it? And those little secrets are always there. The little secrets of the family, like you understood at early age, don't go there, don't speak about that, and they trap you. Instead of bringing it in the open and not being afraid of intimacy, allowed other people to see you, because then you can see other people. That is just way too important. You need to be real in all your relations. What is this fear that people have? This mirror traps you in seconds. At the moment that you begin to hide yourself and contributing to that system that they told you, just relate in the way that I want you to relate instead of who you are. What do you feel about that, mirror?
Well, that one too it feels like it relates a lot to the one about what do people think of me? And so you hide the things in you that you feel are shameful or ugly or whatever. And you align with that with within the family, if that's the case, or even in personal relationships. That's where the true freedom resides. Don't you think that if you expose like it all and put it all, like you say, on the table, then you know that whomever is interrelated with you knows the real you. And that's where you yourself feel freedom. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because there's no other better relationship, no matter what it is.
Yeah, it's just people so afraid of love too. It's like they think if they know me, they're not going to love me. And that has been a big, big lie that it was imposed on you and the system. And that is not even true. So all of the relations that you have are inside of you. So you do need to be true to yourself. Well, the next mirror is very important because it has to do with your spiritual path. And whatever religion you are or tradition, it was beautiful in the very, very beginning. Everything was this beautiful. In some way, it got distorted. They begin to tell you that you need somebody else to connect with God, to connect with the one that created you. You have this idea of God being male. And we make jokes about it, The guy is male, sitting in a cloud, watching you. Of course, he's white and have a beard. And he's punishing you if you don't do whatever is in your tradition. And he loves you, That is very funny because then you begin to relate with love in that way. The truth is that in this mirror, you are responsible for the connection with the one that created you. Nobody has your connection but you. How do you feel about this one?
Wow, that's been a really tough one because I was raised in a Catholic tradition where the chosen priest was specifically the mediator, the connection to you and to God, and whatever he said made you feel lesser or greater than, or so you never, that's where that separateness came from. You felt like you were an empty vessel, you didn't have anything within you that you could create, speak to, listen to. And that's a very terrible distortion because it made people feel like, number one, they came in as maybe a sinner, whatever those traditions in that religion was, and you were taught to believe that. So, when you're very young and you believe the things you're told by your elders, that's a very devastating one because it keeps you disconnected from what you truly are, and that is you are the seed of the divine. You're divine, and you never recognize that until you realize that that's not true. What they've been telling us is not true.
Yeah, absolutely. People need to realize that you are perfect. Many of you are mothers, and when you see your children, do you see imperfections? It's like you always go into, oh my gosh, she's such a beautiful divine being. Well, guess what? That comes from the mother. So you are perfect because that's the way that she looks at you. A flower is perfect, but you're not perfect. And you need to be thinking that you come from the source. And that place is very, very important. Son of a God, daughter of a God, well, little God. How we can see this. She is in you at all times. And yet it is up to you to find that connection because no one can connect you but you. And that it's a big power that you have, especially in this time and space that we are entering into the new world, and you already know how to do this. And that is the connection that you have within yourself. That is just such an important mirror. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, there has been so much distortion, wars because of religion. It needs to stop. What is it deep inside of you? Well, our next mirror, it has to do with money. It has to do with that material thing. How do you relate with it? In this mirror, the mother shows you everything that you need will be provided. Just focus in the spirit. Money is also energy. It's not like, oh my gosh, money is different than spirit. Or you must realize that everything that you eat comes from the mother. Everything that you wear comes from the mother. Every single part of everything, it comes from the mother. So what is this thing that you have about money? It's more important than a spirit.
Yeah.
You know, that is a biggie. Okay, what do you feel about that?
Well, I know, in some cases, excuse me, I have a cough. Money becomes more than an energy. It becomes something that you feel you never have enough of. There's not abundance in your life, that it's unattainable, or the need for your way of living is so connected to that source, the money, that you dance to the tune.
Absolutely.
Whatever it takes to do that, to get the money to provide. If you relaxed and realized that it's all been provided for you over years and years and years, you don't have that struggle anymore.
Absolutely. I keep on telling the people, even when we tell the story of Tonantzin, and there is this part of the story that it says that she turned around and said to Pauline, you do what I'm asking you to do, and everything that you need is going to be provided. And she did. And she does. That's how I have been living all this time, everywhere. All my life. Understanding how things happened. If you choose the spirit, if you make your priority the spirit, everything will happen. I keep on telling this to the people, but people don't believe it. They think that they need to control something. I think that has been a big deal for a long time. Anyway, our next mirror, where are we? Oh, yeah. Your spiritual people around you. Your connections. What are you relating with? What is going on? Every single relation is a perfect match for you. Your friends. And as you begin to grow consciously into a higher conscious, there is many people that they're going to leave. And there is other people that you're going to meet. What it is, those parts of these relations, friends that you have, the ancestors have this old saying, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres, means tell me with which one you hang out with and I will tell you who you are. Because it has to do with that matching the vibration of what it is needed, what it is this thing. What do you feel about that mirror?
Well, I've lived this one. This one I know. Because from the very beginning till now, you're right. All of the things, all the people that were of a lower vibration that I associated with are gone. They may be somewhere, but they're not in my life. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing to see that dance that the people around you that are of the vibration that you are, that you recognize, they support you in ways that are beautiful. That are beautiful to your spirit, to your heart, they love you in a way that is so complete and expansive that you realize now, this is what I'm attracting, and that makes you feel good because you've done some good things. You've raised yourself to a point.
Absolutely, and there will be people that they will come and go in your life. It's a thing, as you go into a higher realm, if you go into a higher teachings, and there will be another set of people that they want to dance with you because it is always a co-creation about this.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yeah. It is something like, okay, you need to have your ducks in a row. And in this time and space, it's just way too important. You are the protagonist in your life. So with whom and what it is the thing and people around you that you dance with every day. Do they want to hold you down, or they're afraid of the dance of this intensity that it is in the world? Of course, You have all kinds of set of people, that there is a purpose of why they are there. They're never, we talked about it yesterday too, there is not your clients, there is not your students or acquaintances. How do you say that in English?
Acquaintance, yeah.
It is never that, because you want to be you. You are being you. You don't put faces. You don't put, all these lies that you want to create. You want to be you in this authenticity, and that's very important. Because whoever is going to be there is going to be there. And whoever needs to go, oh my gosh, open the door wider. Because that means that they were just holding you down into a lower vibration. They need to. So people around you, they must dance with you as you are dancing with them too. Okay, the next mirror, that is the world inside of you. And, we were talking about this one. When you are in the land, you are like inside of this beautiful dream. In this dream, you have all kinds of things going on. In this time and space, being in the land, it has been just amazing, because you're far away from all that situations that it is in the world. And you're dealing with this realness that it is in the spirit. You turn around and there is this little nest with the 3 birds, and it has a meaning, just like you are part of that meaning of this beautiful orchestra. You're part of that beautiful orchestra happening, and realizing it, what it is real and what it is not. I mean, you have snakes in the roof. Oh my gosh, that was a big message. You have so much of, they show you like you are inside of this incredible beauty, magical realm. This mirror, it's very important in your life, because it is the place of creation. And to realize how beautiful you are, realizing that you matter, realizing that it is so important for you to connect into a higher realms. The multidimensionality of yourself is there. What do you feel about this mirror, my sister?
Oh, well, I've been living this dream, in this dream for days with you. And you're right. It's you do matter. I do feel that each one of us is recognized by the mother individually, personally, but it's not mattering like the ego. It's not mattering like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. It's the real matter, the real, how important each human being is. We've heard, oh, well, we're just human. That means we're flawed. Well, no, being human's very special. Yeah. It's very special. So to be in this realm now makes me see things differently. You see it from a higher perspective, because, well, the land itself holds a vibration that you can connect with, and that keeps you in that place of seeing the big picture, seeing everything more clearly, and feeling it very deep inside.
One of the things that we do in this temple, because when you understand your liberation of every single mirror, because you're in the other side of the mirror, and you bring yourself in this one, we understand the higher dimensionality. Once we can go into raising your vibration, the teachings of the mother, people just got it. Immediately, there is no process. There is no, oh my gosh, this slow motion speed, in there, you just got it and catch it in the air, and you realize it, and you are able to understand that multidimensionality in the incredible being that you are. And when you are into this realm, all the truths are being revealed, and you embrace them. So that has been the story of the Temple 12+1. I know that it is very rough right now outside. There is a virus that you fear about. There is this racism. And it will be a third one, I'm telling you, because it is important for people to realize that all these things that it is happening, it is part of the new beginning of the new world. You are in that purification. What are you choosing? Put attention. Liberate yourself from those mirrors. And next time, come for ceremony, because you do need you in your life. Come to the school of enlightenment, because you need you. You need to reach you. Where are you? This is the time that you bring yourself. Well, I love you all so much. I feel you all inside of me. I am your other you. I am you. Tlatzocomate. 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 Oh yes, visit my website. That is www.magdalas.com. That is MAGDALAS.com. Thank you.